Okay, so in the last class, what we have completed, what lab tasks we have completed? Can you please list out the names at least? Is my voice audible, guys? Is it audible? Is my voice audible or not? Can you please respond, anyone? Guys, are you here? Let me join once again because there is a lag in this network. I think. Let me join once again. What we have discussed in the last class. That means what lab task we have performed. Did you remember? Actually, huh? Guys, please respond. Actually, what lab task we have discussed previously in the last class on Saturday, I think. Yes, inter-thread communication and what else? Area of that is abstract concept related to abstract we have discussed. Yes or no? And anything more? And also we have done one program related to multi-threading. I think multi-threading. One program related to multi-threading. That is yes or no? Tables to print the tables, right? Doubly linked. Yes, exactly. Very good, Rahul. Thank you. So today, what we are going to do is there are two tasks you have to do because there are you need to complete two lab tasks today. Okay, you need to finish two tasks, lab tasks. Okay, what are they? See, uh, is my voice okay? Audible, right? Yes. So please listen. Write a Java program that loads names and phone numbers from a text file into hash table. Okay, write a Java program that loads names and phone numbers from the text file into hash table that where data is organized as one line per record. Okay, the data is organized one line per record. Okay, each line one record, each line one record. Each record contains phone number and also the name and also the phone number. Each record contains name and also the phone number. So each line per one record we have to save. Okay, guys, could you able to understand? It's okay. Yes, are you following? Are you following? And each field in the record are separated by tab space. Each field in the record are separated by a tab space. So, did you understand the question first? Did you understand the question first? It takes a name and phone number as input, and this program, what you need to do is it has to take name and also phone number as the input and prints the corresponding other value from hash table and prints corresponding other value from hash table. Suppose if I give key, then it has to give me value. Suppose if I give the value, then it has to give me the key. Okay, that's what you have to do. Okay, did you understand the question first, guys? Can you please respond? Did you understand the question? Yes. Ah, see, there would be a hash table. In that hash table, you need to read the data from the file. In the file, there are some records. In the file, there are some records. Each line, one record. Each line, one record you have to say. So each record contains what? Name and the phone number. Each record contains what? The name and the phone number. So that suppose how to retrieve the data means suppose if you give you the name, then it has to give you the phone number, the associated phone number. Suppose if you give you the phone number, then it has to give me the associated key. Understood now? Did everybody understood? Let us see the program first. Okay, see, listen carefully. So here I just imported util and IO packages. Okay, and the name of the class is phone record, and in the main method what we are doing is I just opened some scanner class object. I just created a scanner class object so that I need to read the data from the user. Okay, and here I am creating file reader object, because I already told you this hash table has to read the data from the file. So yes or no? From the file. So that I just want to create a file reader object so that it can able to read the data from the file. Okay, and for this file reader object, what parameter I am passing? The file in which I am going to read the data. Okay, the file in which I am going to read the data. Okay, so file reader directly cannot directly suppose I just want a buffer reader. Actually, I need a buffer reader instead of file reader. So what I am doing, instead of file reader directly reading from the file reader, I am creating a buffer reader by passing the file reader object to that. Okay, so now from which I have to read the data? File reader or buffer reader? Buffer reader, yes or no? Buffer reader, I am reading the data. So I just created a buffer for the reading the data from the file. Okay, now listen carefully. So we already discussed in the program that we need to create a hash table. We need to create a hash table so that, listen, Java program that loads names and phone numbers from the text file into hash table. So need to read the data from the file and load into the hash table. Yes or no? So for that reason, what we are doing, we are creating a hash table. We are creating a hash table like this, and the generic I am giving is the type I am mentioning. The type of the hash table is string comma string. That is, the key is a string and also the value also string. Key is a string and the value also string. Now what I am doing is I am just taking the string variables like line, name and the mobile number. Line, name and the mobile number. Okay, so what purpose I am taking this line, I'll tell you. Okay, already you know, name is the key and mobile is the value. Name is the key, mobile is the value, and line why I am taking is, see the while loop. How to read the data from the file? How to read it? Listen carefully. Suppose I just created a notepad Mm, suppose the name is Anil, and his number and his phone number is 20 20 34 520. Okay? And next roll number, next name is Rohit, and his name is and his number is 1923 45, okay, and 6. Okay, right. 7 numbers I am giving just my purpose. Okay, next, Dharan. Okay, number is, okay, 18 32 45 7. Okay, and next number is that's it. Okay, next number is, suppose, maybe Shravya's number is 23 45 670. Okay, okay, and I'm saving this file. Where I'm saving this file? Okay, here in this folder itself I'm saving this file. Okay, where is this folder? File.txt. Save. Okay, file.txt. Now, so do we have this file.txt in our folder right now? Can you check? File.txt is there in our folder, no? Right? How is it actually? It is having the records. Each line contains one record, and each record contains a name and the phone number. It's a phone book. It's just like a phone book. Just a name and the associated phone number we just saved. Okay? Right. Guys, are you following? Are you following? Yes or no? See, so in this text, in this notepad, each line how I have to read? I need to read line by line. I need to read the data line by line. So at one time, how many lines I can able to process? One single line. So to read, I am having 4 records here in each line. So to process all these 4 lines, what I am doing is, in this while loop, in this while loop, I am doing that line is equal to br dot read line. What br dot read line will do? In buffer reader, see, read line method available in which class, which stream? In which class? In which class we can the read line method is going to be available? Can you please tell me? Guys, can you please tell me? Read line method is available in which stream actually? Is it of course it is the input stream, but in input stream there are several streams, no? Guys, where are you guys? Only Anil is responding. Where are the remaining students? I'll explain only 2 programs, only 2 lab programs, because we have to finish the lab syllabus. Okay, so just be with me and please do respond quickly. Actually, I am calling a read line method on which object? On which object? BR is what? BR is what actually? BR is what? BR is what? Buffer reader. So listen guys very carefully. Read line method only available in buffer reader. So that is the reason. Of course, I can read the data directly from file reader, but for the purpose of read line method, I am passing that file reader object to the buffer reader. I am passing that file reader object to the buffer reader so that I can able to use this method. I can able to use this read line method. Understood now? Did you understand why we have used these two? Yes? Okay, right. So that br.readline means at a single time only one line can be read. At a single time only one line. That is, suppose the first line is going to be read first. Okay, one single line. And if it is not equal to null, br.readline not equal to null. Is it null for our first time? Is it null for the first time? We have data, no? We have data in the file.txt, right? Yes or no? So that it's not null. It is not null. So in the line, we have one single complete line. This one, Anil and his phone number. Okay. So as it is a combined data, what I am doing, listen carefully. What I'm doing, I'm just splitting based on the space. I'm just splitting that complete string. So based on the space as the delimiter, and I'm storing that in the string array. Okay, I'm storing in the, where are you, Shravya, so far? Only Anil is responding. Where are the other guys? So the split returns the string array, no? So in the string array, now tell me how many elements are there in the split? Yes, very good, excellent. 2, very good, Abhinav. So only 2 elements. One is the name, second is the phone number. So now tell me, I just read the data from the file. Okay, now I am going to upload the data. That I just want to write the data into the hash table. How I am writing? There is a method, put method. So ht dot, the hash table we have created, no? ht dot put of s of 0 and s of 1. That is, the key is the s of 0. That is, key is, what is the key here? Anil is the key, and s of 1 is the phone number. So we are writing into the hash table by reading from the text file and writing into the hash table. Okay, did everybody understand this while loop? Did everybody understood this while loop? Yes? Very good. Very good. Excellent. So now what I am doing is, I already written, no? So how many times this while loop will iterate? How many times this while loop is going to be iterated? 4 times. Very good. 4 times. Because we have 4 records. Okay. So 4 times it is going to be iterated, and 4 times the hash table is to be updated. Yes or no? Do you agree with me? Now I have the responsibility to display the data from the hash table, and based on some conditions. What are the conditions? If I give name, then it has to display the phone number. If I give you the phone number, then it has to give me the name. So that's how it has to display. Okay. Now I am telling enter name. Suppose I am entering a name, suppose Shravya, then it will check, that is HT. Name is the key, no? Name is the key, no? And in the hash table, what method we have to check whether the key is there or not? What method we have in the hash table? Very good. Contains key. That is, if ht dot contains key of the name which we read from the user. Suppose that is Shravya. That is, ht dot contains key of Shravya. Yes, do we have Shravya? Yes, it is there. Yes, it is there. Then what it has to do? It has to give me the phone number associated with the Shravya. Okay, that is ht dot, the mobile number is ht dot get off key. That means it will give you the value. Hope you remember this. Yes or no? Can you able to recollect what we have discussed many times? Right? Very good. Else what happened? Suppose it is not there, it returns false. Then we come to the else part, so that we have to print not found. We have to print not found. And suppose if I give you the mobile number, then what happened? HT dot, what is the method I have to use right now? Because I'm checking the value, whether it is there in the file or there in the hash table or not. So what method I have to use right now? What method I have to use? Contains value. Okay, contains value I have to use. Contains of that mobile number. Then what I have to do? What I have to do is, I have to give the key, no? I have to give the key value, no? So that what I am doing is, I just convert that thing into the set first. I just converted that hash table into the set, entry set, because it is in terms of set. Okay, in terms of set I am converting. Hope you remember this thing. Map.entry, and the type of the entry is string comma string, and this is S1. That is what set the name of the set is S1, and ht.entry set of, because now the hash table returns the type of entry set. It returns in terms of entry set, that is S1. Okay, now what I am doing, I'm using the for each loop. For each time what I am doing, listen guys, each time what I am doing, listen, very good. So what I am doing is, there is a method get value method. So that for each thing, for each item in the S1, I am getting the value, and I'm checking whether this mobile dot equals, because listen guys, one thing is, keys are unique. Of course, keys are unique, but we already discussed that the values are not unique. Okay, because for different keys we can give you the same value. Yes or no? So suppose there is a key A. I am writing here. Okay, there is a key A, and its value is suppose 100. And one more key, I have a key B, and if I give you the value 100, then what happened? It will not give you any error, no? It will accept, because for different keys I am maintaining the same value what is there, but for we have to maintain unique keys, that is for sure. Okay, so what happened? Listen, suppose if I give you the 100, this 100, then it has to give me this key. Okay, yes or no? If I give this 100, then it has to display the associated key. So it should not give me the A. It should not give me A, the key associated with other thing. Okay, understood now? So that is the reason what I am doing is, listen carefully. Mobile is what? The number which you have given from the, which we have taken from the user. So mobile dot equals of. We have a method how to check two strings. How to check two strings whether they are equal or not. Equals. Very good. The associated value I have taken here, and with that value and this mobile number, are same. Okay, whatever the first entry I am taking, on that entry, suppose the first time maybe this is the entry, suppose this is the entry. If I say this is the entry E dot get value means what you will be getting? E dot get value means what you will be getting? This value you will be getting, no? This value you will be getting, no? Phone number, the associated phone number with Anil only. Okay, that phone number will be, that phone number I am checking with the phone number which you have taken from the user. If both are same, what I am doing, I am just printing the key. Get key means, then what is going to happen? Anil is going to be printed. If the value of the entry and the value, that is the mobile number which we have taken from the user, are both the same only, then I'll display the key associated with that by using get key method. Okay, did you understand why I am doing this? Why I am checking this? Why we have to check this? Because of there may be a duplicacy of the values. There may be a duplicate values. So instead of avoiding the different keys to be displayed, we are just checking whether the input from the user and the value which we have iterated is same. Understood, everybody? Did everybody understood this thing, this logic? Yes, Abhinav, 7E, okay, Shravya also, right? Okay, right? Still anybody? Dharan? Yeah, only 5 members. Only 5 members? 7N also. Good, very good, excellent. Right. Good students. Yeah. So this is how you need to check your phone book. Okay. So let me erase this and let me execute this one once, so that let me execute this so that you will understand how exactly this is going to be executed. Just a second, guys. Just give me a minute to set this. Is it fine? So, what is that? Java phone record.java, right? And suppose Shravya. I am giving the name Shravya. Then what happens? The associated, the mobile number, it is going to be displayed. So what is the number? 678 only, no? What is the number? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, no? Okay. Suppose if I give this number, what is this? The number associated with Dharan. Then what happens? What happens? The name, the key value associated with that number is going to be displayed. Okay. Understood, everybody? Yes or no? Yes? So will you do that? And one more task you have. Wait. So this is one task you have to do right now, and this has the test cases. This program has the test cases. So it should be, it is going to be evaluated. And the second program related to the list of files, that is the directory related program. That is, you have to display the files and the subdirectories in your main directory. Okay, I'll tell you, but you have to practice this in your own systems, not in the tessellator, because you have to display the directory structure, no? So in your own system, you just practice and let me know how you are able to perform the task. Okay, and randomly I'll ask you, some of the students, to share your screen and execute this program. Okay, is that fine? I'll explain, don't worry, I'll explain now and then I'll give you the task. Okay, fine. Yeah, okay or not, students? Tell me, is that okay? Yeah, right, right. Just give me a second, guys. Because, 2 minutes. Yeah, okay. So let us start the second one, that is list of files. What is this list of file means? Please read the comment line, please. First read this comment line. Write a Java program to list all the files in the directory, including the files present in all its subdirectories. Did you understand the question first? That is, you need to list out all the files in the directory. Suppose this is a directory. Suppose this may be the directory. Okay, this is the directory. That is the session. The session is the directory. Suppose, for example, and the list of the files it has to display. Along with this, it has to display the files which are there in the subdirectory. This is the subdirectory. No, 6.7.2021 is the subdirectory of the sessions. Yes or no? So along with the displaying the session, displaying the files within the sessions, and also whatever the subdirectories it is having, it is holding, that subdirectory files also it has to display. That is what the thing. That is what the thing we have to do. Okay, understood now? Understood? Did everybody understand the question first? Right? Okay. Now look at this. How we have to do? Quickly, we are going to discuss this. Okay. There is a class called list of files. In the main method, what we are doing is we have to create a file object. Yes or no? Because for file class is used for what? We have already discussed. For what reason we have used file class? For what reason we have to use file class? File streams are used for? File streams are used for read and write. Very good. And file class is used for? File class is used only for to display the metadata of your file. That is the size of the file, the path of the file, the absolute path of the file, the relative path of the file, the size, the length, and the is file. Is it a file or is it a directory? Okay. So these all things we can able to do because of your file class, but we cannot do read and write operations through your file class. We cannot do read and write operations through file class. For that purpose, we have another thing called streams, IO streams, set of IO streams we have. Okay, so now what I have to check? Whether it is a file I need to check, whether it is a directory I need to check, and display the file. So to use this functionality, whether it is a file or a directory, to decide that what class we have to use, do we need to use the streams or file class? File class use cheyala lekapothe streams vadala? File class, obviously. Yes or no? Because I want to know whether it is a file or the directory. Yes or no? That's the reason what I am doing. I'm creating a file object here. That is the reason I am creating a file object, that is main directory file object. And for that directory, what I am passing? I am passing the path, the relative path. Okay, the path I am passing here. Okay, so that this is the folder, actually CSCD unit test 1. I am having a folder. See, this is what the folder I am having. That is the syllabus covered folder I'm having, and also some extra questions, unit 1 part A, part B, unit test, some questions, some files I'm having, four text files I'm having, and one Excel sheet I'm having, and also one subfolder. This is my subfolder. Okay, understood? No, these are the files I'm having in CSCD's unit test 1 folder. Okay, that folder I am giving as a path. That folder, that is that directory. Okay, that directory I am giving as a path. Okay, understood? No, how I am giving, guys? Understood or not? Yes. So one thing you need to remember is you need to give two slashes here, not one slash. If you click on this, only one slash you will be getting. If you cut copy paste this, only one slash you will be getting, but you have to keep two slashes, two backslashes you have to give. Understood? No, please keep this in your mind, otherwise you may get the program may not be executed well. Okay, so please keep this for your path. Okay, now yes, right, yes, exactly, very good. So if main directory dot exist, I'm checking, that is I just created a file object. No, I just know I have created a file object, no, which is pointing to this folder, so what I'm doing is it existed or not? First I need to check whether it is existed or not, and also, and I'm checking main directory is directory or not, whether it is exist and also it is a directory. If both are true, then only I'll come to the I'll come here. Okay, okay, what I'm doing inside. So of course it is existed, that is CSCD unit test 1 folder is existed, and also it is a directory. Yes or no, it is a directory, so it returns true, true and true. So we are entering into the if condition, and here I am using list files. There is a method list files, and that method I am using here on by calling on the file object. This is the object, no, file object dot list files, so that all the files I am having in the CSCD folder, in this folder, will be stored in an array of type file. Okay, it returns files now. Yes or no? List files will returns what? What it is going to return? Files. So that the array of type file you have to create it. Understood? Now, what we are doing? Files from main directory, and how I am printing? I am printing, there is a name called getName method, so that I am printing on that. I am printing the name of the directory. I am printing the name of the directory. Okay, name of the directory, and also I am calling one method, that is recursive print. Recursive print method by passing that array and also the one. One is what means, I'll tell you. I am calling why recursive method, recursive print. Why I am calling? Suppose in the list of files, I'm having a subfolder. I'm having a subfolder. In that subfolder, I'm having multiple files now. I need to display them, right? That is the reason recursive print I am calling here. Okay, to display the innermost files in the subdirectory. Yes or no? So a recursive print of the array I am passing, which is the file array, and the one is the level. One is the level. I'll tell you what is this level. I'll tell you what is this level. This level I just mentioned for tab spaces, because in the question itself, what did they ask you? Job list of all the files, including file present. Actually, in the question itself, you need to have that. You have to print them along with the tab spaces. Let me just check. Okay, you need to print them along with the tab spaces because you need to distinguish. Actually, it should be there in the question, I think. So, one is related to the tab space. Okay, one is related to the tab space, and listen carefully. I am calling the recursive print now. Now, that array I am passing here, and the level 1 I am passing. Okay, so that for each method I am using here, because I am passing, I am iterating the array. I am iterating the array through for each, whatever the array I just passed here. Okay, understood? No, array of these many contents, array of these many contents I just passed. Okay, array of these many contents I just passed. Okay, now at initially what content I am getting? I am getting the first one, first entry. I is equal to 0. If I is equal to 0 and I less than level, if I less than the level, suppose initially the level is 1, no? Initially 1, no? Yes or no? If the value level is 1, then you need to print a tab space. Okay, after printing the tab space, what you have to do is, on that file f, whichever the entry you just take from the array, now you are checking whether it is a file or not. Suppose what is there in my folder? Initially I am getting this one. I am getting this one, syllabus covered file I am getting. I am checking whether it is file or not. Is it a file? Is it a file? Is it a file? Is it a file? Is it not a directory? It's not a file, no? It's not a file. It's a directory. It's a subdirectory. Actually, it is a subdirectory of CSCD unit test. So, is this going to be executed? What do you say? Is it no, right? It will not be executed because it's not a file. It's not a file. Then it comes to this. Else if f is directory, is it a directory? Yes, it is a directory. It is a subdirectory. Then how you have to print? You have to print in the square braces. You have to print that name in the square braces. And one more thing, guys, listen very carefully. As it is the subfolder, as it is the subdirectory, I am still having some more files here now, because I may have these many also. Suppose I'll just copy this. C. See how many files I am having. These many files again I need to display, no? I need to process, I need to display, no? So that is the reason I'm just calling that method recursively. I'm just calling the method recursively. Okay, how I am calling the method recursively? This is not okay. This is not the thing. How I am calling that method recursively? Again, recursive print I am calling, and that list of files method, that is which is called on f, which is called on this f object. Initially it is a subdirectory. Listen carefully. This is a directory. This is a directory. On that directory I am calling list of files. List files method will return what? Will return what? Can you please tell me, guys? List files ane method em return chestundi? Files, array of files. Very good. It returns an array of files, and now I am increasing the level. I am increasing the level because that files within that subfolder has to be printed by taking one more extra tab space. Okay, so that is the reason I am increasing the level. Once I executed, you will understand clearly. Understood, no? And the next time I will be incremented. Okay, I will be incremented, and then next time what is going to happen is next array element is going to be there in f. That is maybe this thing will be there in the thing, so that the next time entry is extra questions, and it just take the tab space and whether it is a file or not. It checks whether it is a file or not. Is it a file or directory? Is it a extra questions? Is it a file or directory? File. It's a file, no? So it is going to be executed. F.getName. That file is to be printed. So hope you understand how the files will be executed, how the directory is going to be printed. Yes or no? How file will be dealing? I am dealing like this, and if it is a directory, I am dealing with this like this. That is, the directory should be printed separately with a separate format, with a separate style, and then I need to call the recursive method once again by increasing its level. Understood, everybody? Yes or no? Let me shall I execute this once so that you will have a better understanding? Shall I execute this? Let me open this only. Uh, See this, guys. Look at this output once. Look at this output once. This is what our output actually. The main directory is the main directory. Files from the main directory. That is what we have discussed. That is what we have printed here now. Main directory get name. The name of the main directory is CSTD unit test 1, and the main in the main directory initially it has taken the extra questions first. Of course, this is a file, and then syllabus covered is the subfolder, so that it is taking syllabus covered in the special format. That is, as it is the subdirectory, in this style I am going to print. Okay, and if you could observe this tab space, it is mentioning even for the file. The tab space, it is going to be printed for the file, and this is level 1. This is level 1, and level plus 1 is this. Level plus 1 is within the subdirectory you are taking one more tab space, that is level 2. Understood? No, within the subfolder I just want to give one more extra tab space, because to distinguish between the files of the directory and also the files of the subdirectory. Understood? That is the reason I am mentioning I am maintaining the level. Understood? And the remaining files as it is got what it is done, it is got iterated, just displayed. Did everybody understand this question, this output, entire thing? Yes? How many of you, please? If you couldn't understand, I'll tell you once again. Yes, will you do that on your systems? Will you do that? So now it is exactly 10. Now it is 10 exactly. After 10, what I am going to do is, after first you have to finish the 4 number task. 4 number task, I'll give you 15 minutes of time. Okay, after 15 minutes of time, I'll check how many of you have completed, and I'll check your codes. Okay, after that, then only you have to then you have to go for the second one, which is list of files. Randomly I'll ask you, any one of you, to share your screen